Welcome back, Jet fans. Dan and I here to talk about a few things today. We got Aaron Rodgers finally signed for the Jets. And I don't know if you knew this, but the draft happened this past weekend too. So may have been overshadowed by some Aaron Rodgers news, but we got some new Jets. We got a lot of things to talk about. Here we go.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jets Therapy. Gordon and I are here to break down, like you said, Aaron Rodgers coming to the New York Jets. Absolutely wild. I don't think I've fully wrapped my mind around the fact that we're going to have a competent quarterback, somebody that we haven't seen behind center of his caliber in probably the last 10 years plus, at least.
I'm not
I mean,
sure
probably since, ever,
caliber.
but just in terms of what he can do. But yes, probably the most talent. I mean, is that fair to say the most talented quarterback that we've ever had since Joe Namath? I mean,
I think it's fair to say maybe the most like consistently talented, right? Like we had one-off years, right? Like
you have a one-off year where like Ryan Fitzpatrick does great, but doesn't even make the playoffs.
Testaverde does great. Pennington does great for a year, and then so.
But let's just put it where it is. This is the most excited I've ever been before a Jets season ever.
100%.
I mean, and you can already feel it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has been on the Jets for 2 days now, or like a week now. But we're like a day or two past the draft, and like the energy, you can feel it. I mean, it is different. Like this is like what you feel usually as a Jets fan is just hopelessly optimistic.
Yeah.
You're excited for the year. You're looking forward to the year, but there's like this twinge of things are not going to go well. Like something feels different now. And it's because of Aaron Rodgers strictly. I mean, obviously Joe Douglas and Saleh and Nathaniel Hackett. And we have some guys, we have some of those kind of temples put in place that are extremely solid, holding up the fort. But Aaron Rodgers, as everyone has said up until this point, was that missing piece. Yeah. I mean, the quarterback is one of the most, if not the most important position in all of sports, and we have one of the best ever to do it. Maybe top 5 quarterbacks ever. So the fact that this was actually done is wild. The fact that Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing for the Jets, something that you could have never think about a year ago. Think about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, just crazy stuff, dude. What was your reaction when you saw Aaron Rodgers go on the Pat McAfee show? There were rumblings of him coming to the Jets, obviously. But what was your reaction? How did you feel after you saw him say those special words of, I intend to play, and I intend to play for the New York Jets?
I mean, I can't even lie. It was goosebumps, right? Like I think Woody's come out and said it. Douglas has come out and said it. Like it's a testament to the culture that Saleh has put in, and like the players that Joe has brought in to like attract this level of player, right? So it was goosebumps when he said that, you know what I mean? And like it was almost like the news last week was, yes, still very exciting, but almost like finally, right? Like we knew it was going to happen. So finally happened, and now we can move on. We can focus on the draft, focus on re-signing the players that we need to, and maybe adding some more free agents or something like that. So it was just good to have him in there. And then those little snippets they've been dropping recently, like him, the first one was him throwing to Lazard. Ooh, first day. And then today they dropped him throwing to Garrett Wilson. It was a thing of beauty, Dan.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson retweeted it too on his Instagram.
Yeah.
It was just, it was just fun and exciting to see a plan come into place.
Yeah.
Because, you sign Hackett, you get Lazard, you get, you start just putting all of these little pieces together where you're like expecting it. You're expecting it. You're like, they're doing everything to make the Jets as enticing as possible for Rodgers to come and play for this team. And it's just one of those things where, like, honestly, I was doubting it up until the trade was made.
Well,
like I did not, I was hopefully optimistic, as I have always been as a Jet fan, like I said, up until the trade was made.
Those are toxic words around Jet fans, Dan.
Seriously. And like, I just did not think that it was going to happen. I really didn't.
No. I mean, Anthony Barr, Tyreek Hill, like how many times have we like been in the talks for getting a high caliber player, right? And like they just, oh no, I'm taking my talents elsewhere. And then Aaron Rodgers came out and chose us. It's like, I don't want to say it almost feels too good to be
I
true, but
was
like,
thinking the same thing. It's
and it's
almost like a
like
too good to be true type of feeling.
storybook unfolding exactly how you wanted it to. You know what I mean? So
But that's the brainwashing that we've received as Jets
we
fans. It's
we're,
like
we are
you're so pessimistic. You're just waiting for Garrett Wilson to tear his ACL or something absolutely absurd to happen. But
we've been
we
conditioned.
have to do our best to think that Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, I trust them. I truly do.
Yeah.
Trust in Joe D. And I think that those dudes are changing the culture. They're changing the team. Took them 2 years. And that
I mean,
was
that's
that's
very
kind of what
quick.
it takes. It takes a couple of years to change a historic legacy of losing. That's kind of what they've
Stink.
done. And this seems like it's going to be a special year where we win, 11 to 12 games and we make the playoffs. We'll get into that later, but
Yeah.
just Rodgers changes everything. And that's just the testament to what a quarterback does for your team. And I truly feel that Rodgers has already come in here and he's like the king of New York. He's going to Ranger games.
The
He's going
Rangers game,
to Knick games.
Knicks games.
He's going to everything, man. He's embracing the culture. He's embracing the team. And this he had such like a label put on him as like, oh, he only hangs out with his guys, or he's got an ego in the locker room. And it's just not true. That's just the media. He's just
Well,
outspoken. I mean, the dude is
yeah,
going to football games with Brees Hall that he's probably met him once or twice.
yeah.
It's just he is embracing everything that is the New York Jets, and it's fun to see.
I'm glad you brought that up. It's like I was trying to think today, like, all the things that have been said about him and like his public perception in the media of, he's a free thinker, he's a weirdo, like anti-vaxxer, all those labels that have been put on him, like you said. But like the dude just, I think he was just in a, it's like when you're in a relationship and it's just like it's not going anywhere, right? Like, and he just gave up motivation, right? Like, he felt like he probably wasn't supported from Green Bay in certain ways. You look back to that when they were a game away from the Super Bowl against the 49ers, they drafted Jordan Love in the first round. They traded up for Jordan Love. Like, you could have gotten a D tackle, a pass rusher, what they needed, or at least a weapon for him. And like, they haven't signed a wide receiver in like a decade in the first
Dude,
round.
they haven't given Rodgers anything. And I will say this about Gutekunst, right? Or whatever his name is. Their GM.
Whatever, yeah.
Gutekunst. Dude, he does not say the right things. Like, he came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, something like that, and they asked him about Jordan Love and exercising his fifth-year option, and he was just like, well, he hasn't played. So, we have to see how he plays. That's a lot of money for someone who's never played before. Whether that's true or not, which it is true, you just don't say that publicly. Because Jordan Love is going to see that, and essentially he's going to say in his mind, and he's young, what is he, 24 years old, 23 years old?
Young, yeah.
He's going to say in his mind, okay, so they're essentially either expecting me to fail because I've never played before, or just hopeful that I'm going to do just good enough for them to pick up my last year. Like,
it'd be a rough year in Green Bay.
It's just not what you say. And I think, like you were saying, Rodgers saw the writing on the wall with the GM. I don't know how long Gutekunst has been there. I honestly don't.
Since Love, so it's been
obviously
4
maybe
years,
4 or 5 years. I don't think that relationship was ever too solid.
Yeah.
And I think it just got to a kind of a breaking point. There was this back and forth between like who contacted who. Rodgers was waiting for their call, but he didn't get the FaceTime, but they said they called him, but he's got bad service. It's like, let's just stop with those semantics. It was over. It was done. We can go back and forth about who did what, when it happened, where it happened, how it didn't work. It was over. Like you said, it's like one of those relationships that is over, but you're just having trouble saying the words, I need to move on.
Yeah.
And I think Rodgers was the person who came out and just said, I'm done. I need to move on. I'm not feeling the way that I should feel in terms of playing quarterback for a team. And man, what did JD and Saleh do in that meeting to show Rodgers we are where you need to be? You got
to ayahuasca with him, Dan. Who knows?
They did. They might have, and I love it. I would have jumped in there with them if it meant Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets. But dude, before they made the trip out to Malibu, to his beach house or whatever it was, he was not set on coming to the Jets. And it sounded like after they left, after the 3 to 4 hours, he was like, this is where I need to be. I'm talking to the right people. and Woody Johnson was there. I bet I don't think he had too much pull, but Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh are so personable, so
Yeah.
authentic, and so down to earth. He didn't see any BS, any writing on the wall, and he said, "This is where I need to be.
We're going.
The Jets are headed in the right direction, and I want to not only put them in the right direction, but also set them up for success by teaching Zach Wilson what he needs to learn."
Yeah. I mean, dude, you think about like, I don't know, you look at Brett Favre. I mean, Brett Favre's always synonymous with the
And he was forced to come to the Jets.
with
Aaron
the
Rodgers just wanted to.
You look at like Peyton Manning when he like how many times do you see Peyton Manning in an Indianapolis Colts jersey now? Not very much because he won what was it 2 Super Bowls with the with the Broncos, maybe
I
one.
think just the one.
And then you look, so there's that chance that if Rodgers comes here and wins, I think just 1 Super Bowl, right? Like he's going down in infamy. He's going to be the second most famous Jets quarterback ever.
It'll be unbelievable. What if he wins a Super Bowl with the Jets? He will be literally maybe crowned the king of New York. Truly,
I agree.
I mean, he might be in a higher status than Joe Willie because of the recency of it, and just because of like this isn't 1970. This is 2023, where there's social media. There's it's just there's so much hype behind this team. Gosh, dude, it's so funny. Like I've talked to my family about it, and like my brother who doesn't know like too much about what's going on, and he's just like, "Are you really getting excited about another year?"
Dan, there's Jet fans that are still like that. You know what I mean? Like I still talk to people,
I mean,
some of
they
them
have
are
the
Jet
right
fans.
to be.
Like I hope this goes well, and like again, maybe it's some of that cautiously optimistic, like the like the super optimism. But dude, I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm ready for it. He's here finally. He's actually here. They signed the deal.
Here. He's playing.
So
he's practicing. All right, man. Well, enough about Rodgers. Let's talk about the draft a little bit because we're going to talk about Rodgers.
That thing that happened this past week.
Yeah, that thing that happened over the last 3 days. Let's talk about the draft. Let's just start off with the number 1 pick because we trade back to 15, which did show to change things. I think if we were at 13, we would have gotten that offensive tackle, and some people were upset about that, and some people were like, well, "This is why you shouldn't have swapped number 1s," and I get it, but that's what we needed to get Rodgers here, so that's fine. Yeah, whatever. It's all water under the bridge. We're past it. But we get to 15. We don't have our tackle. The 3 best guys are off the board. There's no Paris Johnson. Everyone's gone.
Roderick Jones is gone.
And they say, Will McDonald. And what do you say? Because I know what I said to my wife is I said, who is that? Like, what are we doing?
I got to be honest.
I had to look him up. And what was your reaction to being able to snag him?
I said exactly the same. I didn't know who it was, right? I didn't know any of our draft picks this year. I had to look him up. I don't research that much past like 1 or 2 picks, you know what I mean? So yeah, I thought if we didn't go tackle, I thought we were going wide receiver. I thought there was a pretty good spot or a pretty good chance we got JSN, but he didn't. He fell to the 28th pick or something like that. I think so.
I think that showed me that we're hanging on to Corey Davis 100% now.
Oh yeah, 100%, and it just showed you like what the market dictated on those wide receivers that were in there, right? They didn't go top 10, top 15 like everybody thought they would. They went later in the round. So after looking him up, dude, I think I love the pick, right? Like it's another rotational player because we rotate all of our whole D line. He is unlike any D end we have. So he's just another way to attack offensive tackles, right? Like and offensive linemen that we don't have. So he's flexible. He gets down. He gets a low center of gravity. The bend they call it. So, I mean, and he's athletic as hell. He jumps over cars. That's we saw him shoved down our throats 12 million times. So yeah. I mean, he's maybe needs to gain a little bit more weight. I don't know.
They said he'll put on 10 to 15 pounds by the start.
If he translates that would be my only thing. Maybe he's a little small for the NFL, but again, once you get in, they'll get him beefed up. So
they announced him as a linebacker, so that was like odd. Like at 15, they go New York Jets select linebacker. I was like, linebacker? Like we need it that bad? I was like, who is this?
Linebacker D end are kind of
He's a D end.
The
He's a D end.
Kind of interchangeable, right? They don't even like sometimes they'll line up in a 3-point stance, but sometimes they're just standing up anyway. So it's like, you know what he's doing. He's there to rush the quarterback. So
yeah, I mean, what I just love about him, like we said, I don't know too much about him, and I've just watched the tape after he was drafted. I love his athleticism.
Yeah,
just his ability to just work around guys and be quick. I think that we have a little bit of a balance of everything now.
Yeah.
And, we had a lot of bull rushers last year, Lawson and Clemens and JFM and these guys, they're just like pushing people over.
Yeah.
And I think that he's going to provide a little bit of an element of diversity where he's going to be able to truly run around people. Like literally, he just will touch your shoulder pad and be around you and sack the quarterback. So I'm excited about that. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, we'll see how he does. Like we don't know too much about you. We
Big 12 leader in sacks, I think 2 years in a row, or at least double digit sacks 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Dropped down a little bit last year, but dude, I like it. I'm excited to see how he goes. I hope he does well. I think, again, just another puzzle piece to throw in there to kind of confuse offensive linemen. And in a league where we have, or in a division where we have Josh Allen, Tua, and then if you get further into the conference, we have Mahomes, we got Burrow, we got all these quarterbacks.
AFC, man, the AFC is loaded.
You need to get to the quarterback. You got Lamar, so it's like you need to get to the quarterback. You need to get to him quick. So
the AFC will be winning the Super Bowl again. It's just a matter of who. I think this year for me, it's the Bengals that I'm most worried about. I think that Joe Burrow is
okay.
I think that he's set. Yeah, I think that he's ready. He's ready to win. But dude, let's go to the second round. We pick up Joe Tippmann. We get that offensive tackle. We get that center who can play guard, apparently. We pick him up at 43. He's huge. You sent me that text of 6'6", 313 pounds or something like that. You sent me that text of how tall our offensive line is.
It's got to be the tallest offense.
Has to be the tallest. We are truly building a wall for Rodgers. Truly building a wall. I mean, and this wasn't my favorite pick at the draft, and I'll tell you who it was, when we get to him. But this is what we needed to do. We weren't able to get that offensive tackle, that true number one.
Okay.
At 15, we got him at 43.
Well, he's a center. He's not even a tackle. I mean, he can.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You say he's not your favorite, Dan. He might be my favorite pick of the draft.
I love it.
I hope, you when your name is even mentioned with like Mawai and Mangold, like as like that type of that possible type of player, like
how spoiled were we for that long with
Mawai
and Mangold?
Let's hope we hit again with Tippmann here, dude. Imagine like it, and I don't know, maybe it'd be hard pressed to imagine they saw him. There he is. 68, baby.
Best, love that man. Love that man
in the world, dude.
You got to love that man.
But yeah, I don't know. Obviously they had him on their big board. So if he turns out to be that stalwart in the center of the line that we've had in the past, man, get Nick Mangold into practices and just start teaching this kid everything he knows. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah,
he's a giant, like
big boy,
unreal. So I love the pick. Probably my favorite pick of the draft. So
I love it. I mean, in
after I
every right to be. Yeah, every right to be. Yeah, I think he's going to provide, and it's going to be an open. I think it's going to be an open competition for that center position.
Yeah, McGovern is on a low. You know what I mean? Like
he's on a very small deal. It's not like we owe him anything. He's coming back, and he's going to have to show himself. And the good thing is we have depth now at that position. If somebody goes down because of an injury or whatever it might be in the middle of the season, we have somebody that
can swing out to guard as well if things go sour. So it's like and Douglas has always gotten these guys who can play 1 to 2 other spots in the line. You know what I mean? So we've got these, and I don't want to call them Swiss Army knife, but like these swing guys that'll go play across. So I hope we don't have the injuries that we had last year, but we're also stockpiling players like crazy to help prevent that. So
yep, I agree. So you go to the fourth round.
Number 4. This is the O tackle.
Yeah, Forte. This is the OT. Carter Warren, is it?
Yep. Yep.
So you go to the
Local boy from Pitt.
yeah, exactly. And that's what was fun about it. You go to the dude who's kind of born and bred from the area,
Yeah.
super excited about it. You had to listen to Woody Johnson ramble on in the
Those
draft
calls are
room.
those calls are
Dude,
getting kind of awkward.
oh my
Talking to
gosh. I mean, you
6
can't
different
say anything to
coaches
him
and
because he's signing everybody's paychecks, but holy hell. Dude, just say a couple words and
yeah,
move on.
they're a little rough.
But that was exciting. Another guy I don't know. I'll just be honest. I know nothing about.
No.
Literally nothing.
No.
The other two guys I at least had like a small, like, okay, I've heard about rumblings of him. Like, I don't know anything about this guy, but
Yeah.
just more depth, more depth.
That's right. Another guy. All right. Another guy from Pitt.
Okay.
Izzy. Israel Izzy.
So this was my
Running back.
favorite. This was my favorite pick.
Okay.
At number 5, I knew about him slightly. You know, just like it was one of those guys that like I saw highlights of throughout the year, and I was like, damn, who is a running back on
breakaway
Pitt?
speed.
Yeah, and I just every now and then you see a play that you just go, wow, he just looks different. He looks different from the rest of the players. Like he's able to, like almost like you see those highlights of McCole Hardman, like just break away from people. You're like, damn. Now again, he's playing against college caliber players, and I understand that going to Pitt, but you know, I think that he is the perfect yang or the perfect yin to Brees Hall's yang, kind of like a back and forth. Now, they almost mirror each other in a lot of ways where it's like they have that home run speed, they have that home run power. So like he's not like the Michael Carter-esque where he's shifty, he makes people miss.
Slippery. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to kind of dance around a little bit. But I think between you take Brees Hall, Michael Carter, and now Izzy, that is a 3-headed monster, dude. That is going to just bully people throughout the year. I see those
we
3
got
dudes
Bam still, so I think we're going to see.
I don't think
Bam
Bam's going to see
bit.
much playing time, honestly. Now after getting Izzy, I think Izzy is just
replacement, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that he's going to be a better. I can't think of a better word, but a better running back than Bam. Just due to his speed, and that's no slight to Bam because I love Bam and I love his story. But I think those 3, Michael Carter might be seeing less reps, but you know, maybe you see him out of the backfield a little bit more. Just as a pass catcher. But dude, I'm excited for this running back group this year. It's going to be really fun. Really fun.
Should be good. All right, next up we got Zaire Barnes.
Yes. I got nothing on him, man. I don't know.
These last 3, the only one I know is Zach Kuntz because apparently he did really well in the RAS, which again is another metric to try to rank players. Apparently he was the top tight end to ever do it or something.
Well, he looked he looked great. He looked great in the combine. And a buddy of mine went to ODU and he has him really, I mean, he watched every game. So he was like, dude, you guys got to steal. He's unbelievable. Can't believe he fell that far. I guess he had a knee injury, you know, that kind of, you know, pushed him down to the lower rounds. But so, I mean, I see Ruckert having a little bit of a bigger role this year, but Kuntz is really not going to play. I don't think he's going to play almost at all.
One thing I heard about Kuntz is he's like and again, I forget exactly where I heard it, but it's like he's like he plays for himself kind of guy, you know, a little selfish. And that's one of the reasons he fell as far as he did. Because again, he was apparently athletic freak. So yeah, we'll see. Just
again, you can change that. You can change mindset once you get to the NFL. This is a different caliber, man.
Big boys. The man.
So yeah, dude. I mean, like I look at this offensive line seems stable. It seems deep. Tight end core seems unbelievable. Maybe one of the best in the NFL. Wide receivers is solid at worst, you know, like everything that we have speed, we have size,
huge upside,
versatility, the running back group.
Risky.
Yeah, the running back group, unbelievable. Brees Hall, who might be one of the top 5 running back in the league this year, and then Aaron Rodgers hiking the ball. Dude, I don't know, man. For a Jets team that we've always pride ourselves on our defense, and that defense is set. This offense seems ready to break out.
Yeah, dude. I think I will say I feel like there is again, depending on how Hardman does, maybe how Lazard plays, there's a steep, I don't know, maybe not steep is the right word, but there's a significant drop off after Wilson, right? Like, after that, it's Davis, Lazard, Hardman, Mims. So getting
Oh, but
OBJ
I feel
would be
like
nice, another high upside player possibly, but that's, I will say I feel like once, but I mean they're going to attack you. They're still big guys, right? Lazard, Davis. I don't know Hardman's height, but I know Lazard and Davis are two big bodied guys, and Mims. So we've got the size. I do think we're not. I still think we're not done in the wide receiver. I know we picked up a undrafted guy. I
yeah.
forget his name, but right after the draft, picked up an undrafted free agent. So I still think there's a chance Cobb comes in as
Yeah,
another veteran
I
leader.
think there is.
Maybe not though. I don't know. I don't know.
Dude, I think this wide receiver core is going to be a little bit of like a death by 1,000 cuts like type of thing. Like you're
Yeah.
not going to have like the one. I think Garrett Wilson's going to be a number one,
Yeah.
obviously, but I think that the ball is going to be spread around because of how much talent there is. I mean,
True.
when you have Garrett Wilson,
Between tight ends and
Lazard,
running backs, I
Corey
agree.
Davis, and McCole Hardman, and then you have to mix in the tight ends, I don't think you're going to know what like who to defend, when, where, and how.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you defend? Like, just think about this. Put McCole Hardman and Garrett Wilson in the slots, throw Lazard and Corey Davis out wide, and then put Uzama or Conklin on the line who might break out for a 7 to 8 yard pass. It's going to be almost literally impossible at times.
It's gonna be scary
to defend. I mean, like, I don't know, like as long as the scheme is there, which it should be with Hackett and Aaron Rodgers, who can read every defense to a T. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He's able to find open guys because he's smart. This just seems like a recipe for success, man. And it's a special thing, dude. I still have the Jets in me,
right?
But
offensive line's a question mark. I don't want to say
he
did a tackle. But
excited for AVT though.
Excited to get AVT back. Excited now. Does AVT, depending on how Tippmann plays, does AVT bump out to tackle and AVT and
he might move around
bookends? And then we got McGovern and Tomlinson with Tippmann in the middle.
I think AVT has deserved to be like, I want to play this position, and that's final.
I agree.
Wherever AVT wants to play, you go, yes.
Let him play.
You will play there. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about this defense, because I do feel like we've got some some holes on defense, right? Like, I think you and I were talking the other day about where our biggest holes are. I think mine is the center of the defense, man, like the entire spine. Like, we've got these DNs that are, we've got 6 of them at this point.
Yeah.
D tackle, I think we're a little light. Quinnen, we still need to extend. So I want to see them get that done this year. But once we sign Quinnen, I think maybe one more D tackle, a nice run stuffer would be nice. I think linebacker, I think we got to re-sign Quan. I want Quan back. I've always been
I agree.
Quan kind of guy. But then I still like running it back with Quincy, Mosley, and him. And then safety, I feel like we need, I think with the addition of Chuck Clark, I think our strong side is pretty good. I think we need, we miss, I hate to say it, we miss Marcus May, man. I miss having Marcus May in the back of that defense. You know what I mean? So what do you think?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't think that as it pains me to say, I don't think we're going to be the defense we were last year. I think we'll be like top 10, maybe so. Like top 12 type of defense type of thing. I expect teams to have a more, because of our offense, they're going to have more of a offensive minded scheme going to our games. Because I think when you've played the Jets in the past, we're not going to score. So if you're going to win games, you're going to win games 17-13.
You're going to win games with your defense against the Jets.
14-10. So I think that you're going to see teams come out and kind of be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more open-minded about their offensive scheme. So
I like that.
So I think you're going to see a slight, reduction in, I don't know, efficiency, whatever you want to say. Dude, I mean,
They're gonna
they
be
are
testing us
solid.
more. You know, teams are gonna be testing us more.
There's still no holes. There's still no holes. I mean, you bring in
yeah,
Chuck
you're right.
Hart.
You're right.
I still like Whitehead. I am banking on Whitehead's comeback year. He had an off year last year.
I agree.
If we hold on to him, dude, I think he's going to be a stud next year. Chuck Clark is only going to push him.
Yeah.
DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner, CJ Mosley, a good defensive
Lockdowns.
line. Like you said, Quincy's coming back. I hope we get Quan. We still got Nasruldeen, who I love. So I think that the defense is going to be great. You know, top 10. I still think they're going to be top 10, maybe at the that 9 spot. And I think that we're going to have a top 5 offense next year. And you pair those two together, all you got to do is give Aaron Rodgers an average, honestly, defense.
All we got to do is score 20 points a game, Dan. That's
all we needed to do last year, and that was with that team.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff, man. Exciting position to be in.
Very exciting. I mean, it, like you said, we've been so conditioned to failure, right? That like this feels too good to be true. Like this, we feel like we don't deserve this, right? Like we feel like we don't deserve Aaron Rodgers. Dan, I don't know. It's wild. I'm so happy. I could cry. Crazy. I'm not going to. I probably could.
I almost cried watching the One Jets Drive trailer today. Dude, those dudes, do you want Hard Knocks?
No, because we have One Jets Drive.
Yeah. I don't Hard Knocks is for like, we don't need Hard Knocks. It's a distraction. It's
One Jets Drive is like a much better Hard Knocks.
Dude, One Jets Drive is so much better.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable, the production that the Jet, I don't know what's going on there as far as the producers, like, but they are doing whatever they're doing, keep doing it.
It's so
they're
good.
Unbelievable. I love it.
So good. Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. We're going to be back with some more videos throughout the summer here. Dude, talking about the upcoming season, talking about our prediction. I think the schedule comes out in about 2 weeks. I think May 11th, I heard maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Goodell was trying to finalize that on May 11th. So
I think we're gonna have some primetime games, Dan.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have 5 to 6 primetime games. I'm hoping the Jets Giants get the September 11th,
preseason,
matchup, and that would be super fun. So I love it, dude. I love it. Jets therapy is back.
We're back, baby.
All right, everybody.
ETS.
Jets. See y'all later.
Salud.
Salud.